it is March, which is incredibly exciting because it means two things. Number one, we are weeks away from the first day of spring. And number two, it means we can finally start seeds. And especially now, there are some of my favorite plants to be growing from seed. We will be starting in March. So I am going to take you through, as usual, the flowers, the herbs, and the vegetables that you can be starting in March. And again, I could not be more excited. If you're new here, my name is Bree from Urban Gardening Canada, and I garden in Ottawa Zone 5. And we are going to start with our flowers because we always start there, so why not keep going that way? I have 5 on the list today, and 3 of them I've been talking about since January, and that is columbine, rudbeckia, and echinacea. These are flowers that you would have been putting the seeds into your fridge in either January or February. And if you've done that, that means that you can now pull them out and sow them into some soil. If you haven't done that yet, for columbine and rudbeckia, they don't technically need cold stratification, so you can start these ones now, even if you didn't put them in the fridge. Echinacea is a little bit more finicky when it comes to growing from seeds, so I do hope that you did put those ones in the fridge, but otherwise you can give it a go and plant them and see how they turn out. But what is new on the seed list for March are sweet peas. So these are a great one because they make the most fragrant flowers and they love the cold weather. So you're going to want to be planting these ones now. That way that when they get maybe 3 to 4 inches tall, you can pinch them so they can start branching. Starting them in March gives you enough time to be able to get them to germinate, grow a little bit, pinch them so they can start branching out. So that way you can start planting them in the cooler spring days. Of course, the soil has to be workable when it is time to plant them out, but these are a great one to be starting now. And they're such a joy to have in your garden, especially if you love that sweet smell of them. I like to grow them just for looks, but a lot of people use them for cut flowers. So this is a great option for early spring. The 5th flower is snapdragons, and these ones are also a cool season crop. So I love these because you can plant them in the soil now, and then you can plant a second round of them and they'll bloom all the way into October because they really like that cold weather. These seeds are really, really small, so you are going to want to take care while you're planting them. And again, these are another flower that you can be pinching to allow them to branch out. So starting them in March gives you the same thing. It gives enough time for the seeds to germinate, the plants to grow to a fairly decent size, but you can pinch these ones when they're a lot smaller. They only have to be about 2 to 3 inches in size before you pinch these ones for branching. You don't have to, but when you pinch your flowers, such as your sweet peas and your snapdragons, it gives you the opportunity to get more blooms, but you don't have to do it for either of them. However, starting your snapdragons now and pinching them means that you'll have enough time for them to branch out, and you can plant them out around mid to late April, depending on what zone you're in, and they're gonna have enough time to grow and bloom and provide you early flowers in the late spring to early summer. So next up are the herbs, and this is thyme, sage, and oregano. These herbs are woody to semi-woody herbs that you can grow, and most of them will grow as a perennial if you take care of them properly. Here in Zone 5, I can get them to come back in another year, but they aren't always guaranteed. But in Zone 6, I've always been able to get them to come back. So this is one that if you plant it and take care of it, it's going to come back year after year. So they're really great additions to have in your garden. I love having oregano, and I'm only sowing it again this year because my raspberry plants took over the garden my oregano was in, so they never got any sunlight, and sadly they didn't come back, which is the same for my sage as well. I planted oregano about a week and a half ago, but I forgot to plant sage, so this is going to be on my list. I'm going to be planting it at the same time as you guys. And again, if you like thyme, I do not. I never want that in my food, so I will not be planting it. But these 3 herbs are perfect to be starting now in March. So before we get into the vegetables, I did want to mention that I have a new ebook that is available, and it's called Gardening Basics for the Beginner Gardener. So if you are new to gardening, whether this is your first year, your second year, or even if you've been gardening for 4 or 5 years, but you've just been like generally dabbling and not putting in a ton of time and effort into it, this book is for you. I have covered everything that is important to beginner gardeners in there. I love teaching you everything, so there is a lot of passion that went into this book. So we're talking about definitions of different plants, what is cold hardy, what is heat loving, what that means for temperatures, how to water your garden effectively and not be over or under watering, how to fertilize your soil properly, how to mulch your garden, what different insects are good and which ones are bad for your garden, how to find the right location for your garden. It honestly covers everything. So if this is something that you're interested in, I really recommend checking out the link below. I also have the QR code for you here, which you can scan it. And this is something that will teach you a ton and give you so much of the foundations that you need as a gardener. And it is a nice low cost product because I want to make sure that it is inclusive for anyone and everybody, because learning how to garden is a skill that is incredibly important. And I think that it is something that everybody should learn regardless of their financial situation. So if this is something that interests you, I really recommend checking out the link in the description below. All right, let's get to the vegetables, which of course is where I am the happiest and I love to grow them. And these are the ones that you're going to want to be sowing this month. So first up is peppers. If you haven't started your peppers yet, I urge you to finish this video and then go plant your pepper plants, because here in Zone 5, I start mine in late January to early February. And now that we are a few days into March, it is going to start getting more difficult for you to sow the seeds and get a good harvest. So I honestly recommend getting your peppers in the ground right away. It's not the end of the world if you haven't planted them yet, but I do urge you to not procrastinate on the peppers specifically and to start getting those ones right away. So this one is very specific to now, beginning of March. I highly recommend getting this one in the soil. If you live in a much warmer zone, like a zone 7, 8, 9, or anything warmer than that, you can look at planting broad beans or fava beans in March. And you can start them indoors, but if the soil is workable, I recommend direct sowing these ones outside. I have grown fava beans inside and then transplanted them out, and they just don't grow as good as they do when they're direct sown. They have a narrower stem, they aren't as strong, and then when I do transplant them out, they tend to kind of leave that weak stem and just grow strong ones right out of the base. So you don't actually save a lot of time by starting them inside. But if you are in a warmer zone, like say the Vancouver area, and you're not really getting your ground frozen and it's cool enough, then I do recommend getting those broad beans / fava beans into the soil at some time in March, as soon as the weather is warm enough and the soil is workable. Now, you can also be starting lettuce, spinach, and kale. I started these at the end of February. And when I lived in the Burlington area, which was zone 6, I planted mine out mostly undercover in a cold frame starting in April. The snow had melted, the soil was workable, especially if you have a cold frame on your soil, it'll help warm it up. So I start my kale, spinach, and lettuce in March because it's that 4 to 5 weeks to be able to get it planted out in April. They do like cool weather, and the spinach that I am planting this year is called Giant Winter. I haven't grown it before, but it is a winter variety. Kale is also very frost hardy, and lettuce is a little bit not as frost hardy, but you can get winter varieties like Rouge d'Hiver, which is a very specific winter lettuce. I also forgot to mention Swiss chard in this. So we're talking Swiss chard, lettuce, kale, and spinach. So if you start these at any point in March, whether it's, today, March 15th or March 31st, you are going to be able to get your plants out earlier in April to early May, which means that you'll be harvesting from your leafy greens sometime in May or June. Because they can handle such cool weather, I really do recommend starting them now. And this way you will be harvesting so much earlier than if you wait for your final frost date and planting out then, because they really can handle that cooler temperature and they actually prefer it, because the last thing that you want to do is plant out your spinach or lettuce and they bolt because you get a random heat wave in June and you just had waited too late to plant them out. Thankfully, kale and Swiss chard don't bolt from the heat. They really are those type of plants that you can plant them out in April and they are going to go all the way until your first hard frost in the fall time. But the lettuce and the spinach are a lot finickier. So if you haven't started them yet and you are in maybe like a zone 4 or warmer, I would really recommend early March. And if you are in a zone 3, then you could probably do like mid to late March and be able to get those, and you're gonna get a way earlier harvest. So if this isn't something that was on your radar in March, I recommend moving it up to March. Now, these are my 3 favorite ones to grow outside of peppers. And the first one is ground cherries. I don't know if you've grown them before. They are similar to tomatillos, but not quite the same. They're more of a fruit than they are a vegetable. They have really small seeds. They grow really, really slowly. So you want to be starting these ones in March because of how slow they are to grow. Once they get maybe 2 to 3 sets of true leaves, they'll blow up and take off. But up until that point, they are really slow to grow. So I do recommend, if you are growing ground cherries this year, that you want to start them within the first few weeks of March. I wouldn't necessarily wait till the end of March. I've tried quite a few different varieties because I love them so much, and Aunt Molly's has always been my favorite variety. It's the most common one that you can buy, and sometimes I tend to shy away from the most common variety because I want to try something unique and different. But let me tell you, Aunt Molly's is the most flavorful of all of the ground cherries. So if this is a new plant to you and you want to try it, I recommend the Aunt Molly's variety. And they are a squirrel's favorite and my favorite too. They just have like this really nice, like tropical fruity flavor to them. And I love snacking on them. So they are a literal must have in my garden every single year. Next up is eggplant. I love eggplant. It is the most underrated vegetable out there. I don't understand people who don't like it. Last year I grew 7 different varieties and I'm quite literally on the hunt for every variety of eggplant out there. I just love growing all of them. If you grow a unique eggplant variety, please let me know in the comments what type it is and if you like it, and if you are a massive eggplant lover like I am, or maybe you hate it. Either way, I'd just love to hear from you. But here in zone 5, I start my eggplants on March 15th and I use a garden journal. So I comment on when I start my seeds, when they germinate, and how big they are when it comes time to plant out. And I have learned that March 15th is the best time for me in zone 5 to be starting my eggplants. So if you're in a warmer zone, I recommend starting before March 15th. And if you are in a colder zone, I recommend between March 15th and March 31st. These are very similar to peppers, where they are fairly slow to germinate, fairly slow to grow, and then they do take time to produce their fruit. The only difference is that eggplant doesn't need to change color the way that a pepper does, where a pepper grows a green fruit and then has to ripen to red, orange, yellow, or whatever color you're growing. Eggplants come out the color that they're supposed to be, so they do ripen at a faster rate than peppers do. But from a plant growing perspective, they are also a slow grower, so I really recommend starting these ones in mid-March. And I am going to be posting a video around March 15th, and that one is very specifically going to be how to grow eggplants successfully. I made sure that I took so many videos last year of the bounty of eggplants that I grew. I grew so much, and I pickled them or turned them into like a pickled oiled eggplant, and I loved it. So you're really going to get to see a very large amount of eggplants in that video because of my passion for growing them. So if you aren't quite sure how to grow eggplants or what varieties to grow, you are going to want to be notified for when that video does come out, because It is going to help you a ton, and it will be out at a great time for you where you can be starting them at the same time as me when that video comes out. And then the last one to start in March is a gardener's favorite, which is tomatoes. So I have learned from growing in a zone 5, zone 6 to never start my tomatoes before March 30th. I have started them in the past before that, and my tomatoes have become overwhelmingly large. Tomato plants grow really, really fast, and you don't want to be in a position where you have these 1 to 2 foot tall tomatoes that you're constantly having to be potting up, because it means bigger pots, more amount of space, and more soil. So the goal with starting your seeds is to make sure that the timing is right, that when you plant them out come your last frost date, that they are a really good size to perform well for you during the summertime, but that they're not so large that you feel incredibly overwhelmed growing them inside. And that's honestly where the garden journal comes in as well, where over the years as you're growing, you fill out your garden journal and you say, I started this on this date, and this is how big it was. It was too small, I should start it earlier. It was the right size, this is a great time to start it. Or it was too large and I need to wait longer. And that is what I've done to come up with knowing that the end of March is the right time to start my tomatoes. So this is going to be different for everybody depending on how big you want your tomatoes to be when you plant them out, your willingness to plant up, and how early I guess you want a tomato harvest. For me, it's really important that my plants are a good size when I plant them out, but I hate potting up seedlings. I hate it. So for me, there is a certain size I want my plants to get to, and once they're any larger than that, then I've started them too early. I really want them to be in under a 1 liter pot. If I have to plant anything in a 1 liter pot, then I've gone way too early with my plants. So that is where I'm getting these dates from. So for me, March 30th is the best time to be starting tomatoes, where they are a really great size to plant out, but I'm not potting them up and using like so much extra money on potting soil and finding pots. And for me, that's really important. And that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. If you did, leave a comment below and let me know what you're most excited to be starting in March. Tell me about your garden goals, your garden dreams for this year. I'd love to hear it. And if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out this video here. Bye.